Maggie to the rescue!
Hey everybody! Today Maggie is giving some TLC to Punkin. She's a little 11-inch doll made by Effanbee in the 1960s. Let's see how she's marked. She's got her little brush ready to comb that messy hair. Thank you, Maggie. You can have a seat. Let's see. Marked 1966, I believe. That doesn't necessarily mean when this doll came out. That's probably when the patent was, but from her dress, the quality of her dress, and the pattern, I think she probably is from the 60s. So she needs quite a bit of help today. Wondering if I can get that out. If not, I will cover it with her bangs. She's a little dirty. Her hair is in need of attention, and her clothes definitely need a good wash. Isn't she precious? Such a cute face. And she's got freckles. And I looked it up, and 3 on one side and 2 on the other is correct. I was thinking maybe one had been washed off, but I saw in other images online that there was the 3 and the 2. Look how cute that little face is. Blinky eyes. So she definitely deserves a clean up. And I'm going to see if I can find some socks and shoes for her. They won't be like the originals, but hopefully they'll be good enough. So we're going to get started and see what we can do. So I'm going to give her a sponge bath. I'm not going to submerge her because I don't want it to get into her joints if it's not necessary. But first, I'm going to wash her clothes, and I'm just going to use OxiClean. Whatever kind of Oxy wash you have would be good for something like this to get this back to its correct color. Her little dress is so cute, little snaps. Seems made pretty nicely. Little lace is still intact, nice polka dots. And she has these little underpants, and they are sewn on the side. And as you can see, I've put down a mat. It's a squishy mat. That way, if anything sloshes out when I'm washing her dress, then it'll absorb it. And also I like to use these mats, especially with the most delicate dolls, with antique bisque and porcelain dolls and china dolls. Okay, so I am going to put her to the side and clean her dress. So like I said, this is quite hot water, and I like to just put in a little bit, let that start to work. And then don't use your bare hands for this. I always just use a tool like this. Let that start to do its magic. And I like to let it do sort of first soak, and as you can see, the water's already getting a little bit brown, and I let that get brown, then I dump it out, and then I start fresh again. I don't rinse out the clothes or anything. I just do one more washing. So I'm going to let that work for a little bit, and then we're going to start cleaning up Punkin. We've started bath time, and I'm just using a dish soap and a sponge. That's going to be a stain that might try the, I don't know if you've watched other videos. Some people like to use 10% benzoyl peroxide on these kinds of stains. They have to sit a long time. I don't know if I have that patience. I might just cover that with her bangs. A little Q-tip to clean her eyes. I think you can see this. I'll hold her eye open. Her eyes are also in really good shape. Sometimes these dolls have a cloud over them, and these do not. They're nice and clear. Cutest little mouth. Look at that mouth. Those freckles. Not much dirt on here at all. Here we are, nice and clean. Again, I don't think we'll use another video to talk about how to get rid of stains like this. But for this one, I'm just gonna try to style her hair around it. Looking good. Okay, now it's time for hair. Okay, hair washing time. So when a doll comes to me from a thrift store or from an auction, I like to wash their hair before I comb it, because you don't know what particles are in here or what dirt, and I just don't want that in the apartment or in my nose. So I always wash it first. So I put a little bit of shallow water in this tub, and I'm just going to wet it a little bit. Just get the particles out, whatever might be in there. Rooted hair dolls, I think, were started with Madame Alexander and Jenny dolls. I'll have to double check that, but before that, dolls had wigs. So I'm going to add just a little bit of dish soap as shampoo. Wrap around. And I like to, at the same time, add a little human hair conditioner. Just have it in there at the same time to soften it up. Just wash that. Okay, I'm going to go take this and rinse it in very warm water. This is hot water for a final rinse. The water, when I poured it out, it was quite brown, so I guess we did get quite a bit of dirt out of her hair. Okay, now comes the delicate part, which is combing it out with a wide tooth comb. And as everybody knows, start from the ends. Step 2 on the bangs, when I pulled the little cap off, they were still sticking up pretty far. So I decided to pull some hair forward and put this rubber band around it. The hair is drying nicely. Needs more dry time, but even now you can see more dimension in the hair, more dimensional color. There's a golden blonde and an ash blonde, and that's really nice to see the dimension. But again, it's got still more drying time to go, and when that is completely dry, we'll do a nice brush out. Well, I just went and looked for some shoes for Maggie, for Punkin. Sorry, Maggie, for Punkin. You have your shoes. I found this pair. They're very white, and since her outfit has a sort of off-white trim, maybe really white at one point, but since it's aged so much, I think I don't really want to use the bright white, but they do fit her well. even with socks on. I'll talk about the socks in a second. And I also have these little shoes, which are Madame Alexander style shoes. They might even be Madame Alexander. And I am going to put them on her. They have quite a bit of age wear. I have ribbon like this that I can put in them, but I might just keep it off. Not sure if I use these. And then I actually found a pair of red shoes that would be perfect for her outfit, but they're a little, they need some help. There's this extra bit that I can take off with an X-Acto, this little bit under here, and they're a little stained. The other issue is her other shoes can go on with socks. I couldn't, when I put socks on with these, they wouldn't go on, so she'd have to be sockless. But the fact that I could find red shoes is making me want to use them. So I'll have to clean that up. And I don't know if you're like I am, but I have lots of socks and shoes for dolls. And of course I have this whole pile of socks, and not a, well, actually one is a pair, and I would have to cut them if I'm going to use them for her. And then every other one is just a little bit off. Out of all of these, none of them are a pair. So I'll have to figure that out. But maybe I'll just use these and cut them. The sun keeps going behind clouds and coming back out, so the light probably keeps changing. But anyway, hopefully you can see that her golden hair is starting to dry. It looks like the bangs are doing pretty well. I took the rubber band off because I didn't want it to make too much of a mark on the back, and I'm just letting it dry like that. And now I have rinsed her clothes. I think they did pretty well. I admit that I was a little bit trepidatious about the OxiClean, if it would keep it color fast or if the red would eke onto the white parts. It did a little bit right here. I don't know why here more than anywhere else. It might just be that there's actually red cloth underneath here and it's showing through. But what I like to do is, well, so I rinsed it very well, so now I can use my hands. You want all of the Oxy Wash to be out of the clothes that you use it on. These are still a little bit dirty. They're not perfect. I'll try to squeeze out anything I can. And I like to do one last rinse just with a little bit of soap. So I'll probably do that now. And then after I do that, I will pat it out with a paper towel like this and let it sit and dry. A little tip is you can use a soda bottle to dry your dresses. I do that quite often. They're a nice size for all sorts of sizes of dolls, actually. Alrighty, look at those bangs. Not too bad. This hair's getting really fluffy. Very soft and fluffy. So I brought my scissors. I'm going to do a little bit of trimming, not too much. It's not quite as different on each side as I thought. Let's see. Still a little tangle down there. Let's get that out. There. Let's see. Let's get those ends off, just all the way around. Okay. Let's see in terms of evenness. Yeah, this needs a little more trim. Okay, let's see if her clothes are dry and get this girl dressed. Well, I decided to use the red shoes and no socks. I cannot get them over her feet with socks on. And then I'm also going to use a red ribbon for her hair. So her dress is dry, so I'm going to take it off of this. And let's just do a little looking at the ribbon. So I have these seam binding ribbons, which I love to use in doll's hair. But it looks like this ribbon, which is actually a silk ribbon, matches the best. So I think, what do you think? This is a little bit too, has a little bit too much blue in it going towards the purple. This has a little bit too much yellow, orange. And I think this is, it's not an exact match, but it sort of fits the best. But let's get her dressed. Oh, this needs a little trim. Little danglies. So when I fixed up her shoes, I did use an X-Acto knife. That's something that your parent needs to do if you are a child. Okay, let's get her underpants on. Let's get her shoes on. Let's see. Look, they're left and right shoes. That's, oh, sorry, Dolly. That's a little bit unusual. Cute. her hair dried completely, and then I used that opportunity to spray it just a little bit more with water to sort of get it a little bit straighter, but still keep body. Really turned out nice, golden, dimensional color. Look at that, really nice. I did a little bit more trimming on the ends. Pretty. So I decided, instead of the ribbon, a little extra trim right here. Instead of the ribbon on her head, I decided to maybe add a little ribbon to this hat and see what that looks like on her. Let's see, it's a little big, so let's see. It's pretty cute. Let's see. One more little beauty step that I like to take sometimes on a doll is just to increase their blush just a little bit, add a little bit more. She's got pretty good blush cheeks, but I'm just going to elevate it a little bit. And I just use lipstick. So this is just a regular lipstick, and this one has a little bit of a rosy tone to it. So I'm just going to dab it a little bit on her cheek. Rub it in nicely. Pretty much following where it was. Maybe increasing it just a tad. Just using the warmth of my finger to be able to spread it nicely. It gets nice coverage, almost like it's been airbrushed. So just a little bit of an elevated blush. Rosy cheeks. Maggie loves her pumpkin, whether she's clean or messy, but she was a mess. Oh, that's so much better. So if any of you out there had a pumpkin, or maybe even the boy pumpkin, I think they had a boy version, I'd love to hear about it in the comments, or any other Effanbee dolls if you collect them now. And actually this doll is a good one to begin a collection for a young person. They're very high quality, it's a heavy plastic, and I just think it's a very nice doll to start with if you have a young person in your life, or if you're a young person watching. Look up a pumpkin. They're still very inexpensive. So as a reminder, Maggie to the Rescue is a brand new channel, so we'd love to hear your comments, and it's important to us for you to like and subscribe so that we can keep making videos like this, restoration videos, and we have a lot of fun show and tell to come. So thanks everybody. Bye.
Like and subscribe. Thank you.